There's a new football team in the area that will make its debut with a road game later this month. The East Iowa Storm is a semi-professional team that will play 6 home games this summer at Linebaugh Field, the high school facility in Independence. The team is holding a meet and greet at 3 p.m. on Saturday, May 23rd, followed by an hour-long scrimmage at 4. The open house comes 1 week before the Storm kick off their inaugural 2015 season against the Omaha Outlaws on the road. I'm talking right now with Ryan Richmond, the Director of Business Operations and a player for the East Iowa Storm, and also Tim Cummings, who is the team's head coach. Tim, let's start with you, the head coach. Tell me a little bit about the team and some of the goals for the East Iowa Storm here for this 2015 season.
Well, the team is made up of several players from the area, some of them that are former players, some are former college players, and right now our goal is to get the season kicked off. We've been having several hard practices up until this point, and we're just ready to kick off the season May 30th against the Omaha Outlaws.
Your first home game is against the Midwest Titans out of the Kansas City area. That's June 6th, and I know that as a head coach you have to be excited looking forward to not only that first road game, but especially playing that first home game at Independence High School.
The first home game is always special. I mean, it's a special feeling playing in front of your home crowd. The guys are excited. They're chomping at the bit. Practices have been intense. We're on our way, we're doing well, and we're ready to go.
Tell me a little bit about how you put this roster together.
The roster was put together by me and Ryan, who had some former players from last year's Cedar Valley Charge, and then we put out a tryout. We had an open tryout here up at the Sportsplex, and then we just kind of narrowed it down. A lot of times people they try out, they don't find it's for them, so they don't turn up anymore, they don't come back. But the roster, we did have a cut-down procedure. We put together a pretty solid crew of 40 good football players.
Every team then limited to a 40-man roster?
No, actually they're limited to about a 53-man roster, 53 or 55, I can't remember the exact number, but something like that. But 40 is a decent number for this area. I mean, we could always use more. I mean, we're going to have another open tryout, I'm sure, at the end of the season after this year's over, but always looking for more talent.
I understand there's 14 teams in this league. How's it split up as far as your team and who your opponents are?
Well, it's split up in the AFC and the NFC, just sort of like the NFL. There's a North and a South division, basically. We've got teams up there in Iowa, Omaha, Kansas City, St. Louis, and then the South is like the Ozarks, Springfield, Oklahoma, a couple other teams south and in that direction there, but it's split up 7-7. We play 6 home games, 6 away games. Division is divided up pretty equally right now, so it's a pretty level playing field.
When are the games?
The games are on Saturday evenings. Independence High School, our home games, at 6 o'clock. The away games they vary, mostly between 6 and 7 o'clock at each individual city.
Ryan, as far as on the business end of this, obviously there have been a couple of similar teams, the Cedar Valley Vikings. Tim mentioned the Cedar Valley Charge from last year. What sets the East Iowa Storm apart from those previous teams?
I don't know if there's a whole lot that necessarily sets us apart other than the fact that we're a different team. It's still semi-pro football. The game is the same. I come into this from a different perspective, having worked with conservation groups like the National Wild Turkey Federation and that sort of thing, raising money. And that's how I kind of approach this. Maybe not necessarily in the true football sense, where you want to fund the football. We're looking to fund the experience. But then also, we want to give back to the community. And one of the big things that we're really excited about is the youth sports football team in Independence is actually going to be doing the concessions at all of our home games as a fundraiser for their program. So we're excited that we can help them raise money for their youth football program so that kids can learn football the right way from the beginning. Being a father of an 8-year-old that's starting football this year, it's huge that kids learn it the right way so that when they do get older, we don't have a lot of the concerns of, they don't know how to tackle or they don't understand the game and they're going to get hurt. So that's one thing that the East Iowa Storm might be a little bit different, is that one of our primary goals, aside from winning football games, is also helping in the community and giving back.
You are not only just the director of business operations for the team, but also a player. So why take on the extra responsibility of the dual role?
Part of it's because I really want this team to succeed, and I'm sure other people could do it, and I'd be more than willing if somebody else wants to do it to kind of help out, but to help me out or take it over. But I can see what we need to do as a team, and it's easier for me just to take the reins and say, okay, this is what we have to do, this is why we need to do it, than it is just sit back and maybe let somebody else do it and not do it necessarily and be successful. It's more of a I'm kind of a control freak that way, actually. Tim and his wife give me a hard time all the time. They're like, just let somebody help you. I'm like, I'm willing to help people help me if they do it the way I want it to.
Ryan, I know you've got an open house here coming up now on Saturday.
We'll have the meet and greets from 3 to 4. We'll have merchandise available. We'll have T-shirts. We just printed up some new schedule T-shirts that I'm pretty proud of. In addition to the business, I do a lot of our design and our web design. It's a hobby of mine, so I do that. So our website I did, and all of our T-shirts. So we'll have T-shirts available, tickets, which tickets are $6 in advance, $8 at the door. But at the door, if you're a veteran, active duty, or a teacher, you get in $6 no matter what. So you don't have to pay the $8 at the door if you want to come last minute. But we will have tickets available. Season tickets are $30, so you basically get a game for free. But season tickets will also get you into our playoff games if we host those at the end of the year. But otherwise, the meet and greets from 3 to 4, and then we'll have a brief scrimmage from 4 to 5. Kind of similar to what they do like with the NFL, where they have like a family night, and it's not like a true scrimmage, but the offense and defense play against each other and kind of show the fans what they can kind of expect and who the players are. It's all at Linebaugh Field in Independence, which is behind the junior high elementary school area there.
As with a lot of new teams that are starting up, I know that getting the word out on a team like this is crucial, and I understand that the Independence community has really been supporting this venture. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we had a great opportunity beginning of the month at Wapsie Realty, one of our sponsors. She invited us to come share in her open house, and that kind of opened the door for us with Independence. A lot of people in town, we'd kind of canvassed what we could, gone out and talked to people, but being involved in an open house where people could kind of come in and just ask us questions really opened the door for Independence to kind of embrace us. And we're hoping that we can get that small town high school atmosphere at our games. We want the crowd to be loud. We want a 12th man advantage that some of the other teams aren't going to have at their home fields. So it's what we're looking for, and we're really grateful to Heather at Wapsie Realty that she invited us to share in her open house and help us get our name out there.
Obviously, support's number one, but what will it take for this team to be successful?
We need to work together. This is taking my business hat off, put the player hat on. We need to work together and listen to the coaches. Tim has got a great defensive plan put together with a lot. We have a lot of talent on the defensive side that's going to help keep the score low for the opponents. We have a lot of talent on the offensive side, and our offensive coordinator is really good at adapting. If something doesn't work, he won't go back to it. He says, all right, it doesn't work, let's run this. Let's run what works. Our offensive line is a big group of guys. We might be one of the bigger offensive lines in the league. And so we're going to be a running team and pass when we need to, but we want to put some points on the board and make it a little bit easier for the defense so they can maybe sit back on their heels and pick some balls off.
Your experience with the Cedar Valley Charge the last year, how much has that helped you going into this season?
It's actually helped me quite a bit, both from a player's perspective. Before last season, I'd actually never played football before. I played rugby. So coming into my second year of football, things have slowed down a little bit. But from a business side, I was able to learn good things with the Charge. There were some things I learned from that maybe I don't want to go down that path. Just learning from the Charge, the positives and the negatives, and kind of moving forward from there.
And again, the open house is on Saturday. It runs from 3 until 4 at Linebaugh Field. That's behind the Independence Junior and Senior High School. And it's an open house that's free and open to the public, and a chance to learn about the team, meet the players, and find out what this Midwest Football League's all about.
Absolutely.
Should be fun. Thank you for your time, guys.